Welcome to the Scottish Rite Journal podcast, an audio presentation of the Scottish Rite Journal, brought to you by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. This week's article is Embracing the Hero's Journey in Our Masonic Experience, Part 2, The Hero's Journey Through the Craft Degrees, by Brother Lucas Minton, 32nd degree, KCCH, and comes from the January-February 2024 issue of the Scottish Rite Journal. Described by Joseph Campbell in his foundational book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, the hero's journey motif is found in many of our most important religious texts, in literature, and in popular films. In this final part of a two-part series, we will apply Campbell's typology to undertaking the 3 craft degrees. The ordinary world is everything outside our figurative lodge rooms. Passing through the outer door is the response to the heroic Masonic call to adventure. This is when our hero candidate responds to his scheduled initiation. He meets his brethren upon arrival, and from their ranks, his mentor emerges. Our brother then takes his entered apprentice degree and crosses the threshold from the ordinary world to the extraordinary world. While our candidate may have known the mentor prior to initiation, the mentor's role is not truly understood until after the initiation and the mentor-lecturer assigned. We note in passing that the word mentor harks back to heroic literature, for mentor was an older, wiser man who advised and guided the Greek hero Odysseus' son in Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey. Here our candidate enters the second stage by experiencing tests and trials. Each candidate in my home jurisdiction must memorize the answers to his lecture or catechism as completely as possible and be tested by reciting them in open lodge. Other jurisdictions require a different trial, the preparation and presentation of an original lecture by the degree recipient on lessons learned. The hero makes his way through the aforementioned trials, gaining knowledge of the craft. He moves slowly towards the innermost cave and his showdown with destiny, or the ordeal. This could be at the end of the first section of the master's degree or the beginning of the second section. This is where our brother discovers he is not what he thought himself to be. His fears being found lacking are realized. Yet the candidate receives the reward, seizes the symbolic sword, and is allowed to continue his journey. Here the story's pace quickens. The brother is set on the path to the roadblock as he enters the third and final stage of his journey, or the return. We have the final showdown with man's ultimate antagonist. Pierce A. Vaughan, in Renaissance Man and Mason, notes that, as the initiate finds his true, higher self, the role of the hero increases, and the role of his guide diminishes. Finally, the showdown occurs, and the resurrection begins as the candidate sacrifices everything. Then, with the act of raising the candidate to the sublime degree of Master Mason, we see our candidate journey back to the ordinary world with the magic elixir. He has seen and done wonders that distinguish him from his peers in the ordinary world, learning much and acquiring new skills. Perhaps he puts these to use in his everyday life, or perhaps he becomes an adventurer, always searching for light. Regardless, his character arc is completed. He is not the same man who first entered our rarefied and indeed sacred space. The hero's journey continues for the Mason, should he undertake the Scottish Rite's call to adventure to Egyptian lore, Kabbalistic learning, and medieval chivalry, all with various perils and eventual rewards. Needless to say, men join our fraternity for many reasons. Yet, as Carl Jung points out in Man and His Symbols, the universal hero myth is an archetype that has been deeply seated in all of our conscious existence from time immemorial. The young men that our lodges wish to have as members are looking for these transformational experiences that they heard their grandfathers speak about or which they have seen hinted at in popular culture. This means, however, that as advocates of Freemasonry and as the mentors of these young men, we must deliver a life-changing, transformational experience. We must give men a special world when they come to lodge. We must provide them with mentors and challenges and then equip them to meet those challenges and triumph. In short, we must make every candidate the hero of his own story. To some lodges, this will represent a true paradigm shift. It demands well-executed, meaningful ritual without ego or pretension. It requires men to become guides and mentors for our younger members. These guides and mentors also must challenge the newer and younger members to excel, to discover for themselves the magic elixir. When a brother starts to move through the chairs as a lodge officer, he soon realizes he is on a new journey, replete with new mentors, new challenges, and new goals to achieve. When he leaves his station in the East, the brother will be called upon to become a mentor, and he may even become a challenge to be overcome by newer members. He knows that offering new heroes the best experience possible is the only way that he can change a man's life and, possibly, the world. Like and share this article, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you wish to comment, please leave one, and as a reminder, hit the notifications bell. Any accompanying photographs or citations for this article can be found in the corresponding print edition. The Scottish Rite Journal is published by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. Mark Dreisenstock, 33rd degree, Managing Editor. I'm your host, Matt Bowers.